Hello, 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 hello. Hopefully you are having a fantastic day as you join us. My name is David Fisher, also known as D Fish, and we have another great episode of our series on how everybody in the financial services industry can be a sales Sherpa, can be a guide to their clients, to their prospects through their journey, through their buying journey. As you can tell, we're in a completely new location. I think my goal this week is to be in a different room or setting every time. That's what happens when you have a small child whose nap schedule is completely changing and evolving on a daily basis. So I got kicked out of the nursery/studio, and now I'm in my my living room. And I've got a cat right here, just off camera. But hey, super excited to dive into this topic today. Remember, if you haven't seen the other episodes in this series, we've been doing them all month, you can look at our YouTube channel, and I will go ahead and throw up the, in just a moment, I will go ahead and throw up, there we go, the URL for that, youtube.com/user/David Fisher. That has our entire series of what we've been talking about this month. It also has all of our other live streams. It has all the recordings that we've created. Plus, it has the regular DTV series where I look at how to build better sales and business relationships, how to use LinkedIn, all kinds of great topics there. And I've actually been making videos for over a decade on YouTube. So there's a lot of great content. If you're looking to improve your business development skills, networking, sales, marketing, professional development, I would definitely recommend checking those out. But let's get to the topic for today, and I can go ahead and turn that off. And it's a very simple topic, but one that's so key, especially in times when things are weird, right? With coronavirus this year and shelter-in-place orders, self-isolation, social distancing, it's obviously been a weird year. It's weird that I have to bounce around in different studios in my house and in my co-working space to accommodate all of the different schedules of the people who are now here all day, which is brand new. And when things are uncertain, when things are not consistent, I really think the trick is to find ways to create consistency and create some control within your daily work life. And especially when we look at how we're developing our pipeline, our opportunities with prospects, our opportunities with existing clients, whatever it might be. And I think that we often overcomplicate the issue. We overcomplicate what is necessary for success. And I have, for over 15 years now, preached kind of what I call the Mr. Miyagi approach to business development, the kind of the wax on, wax off. Very, very simple, but you keep doing it over and over and you get good results. Now, there isn't necessarily one specific action or activity that you need to take. And that would take way longer than 15 minutes for us to dive into all the different things that you could do to help drive your business forward. But if you think about it, for you, what are the most important activities that you should be engaged in, whether that is doing outbound calls, whether that is asking for referrals from existing clients, whether it's reaching out to existing clients and just continuing to build relationships with them, whether it's doing research, whether it's sending out emails, whether it's being active on LinkedIn and posting content or engaging with other people's content. There are many different activities you could do. And again, we kind of know what are the things we should be doing. What I've found is that the people that are really successful basically take not a lot, 2, 3, 4 or 5 at the high end, but really just 2 or 3 activities, and they do them regularly and they do them consistently. Regularly means it happens at a set time, often daily, at a minimum weekly, and consistently means that it keeps happening over and over again, right? So think about it. What are the 2 or 3 things that you can do in your business If you did them every day would help drive your business, and not for very long. The kind of inspiration for my perspective here was actually an article that I read years ago about Jerry Seinfeld. And Jerry Seinfeld, he's doing okay for himself, right? And whether or not you like his humor, whether or not you're a big fan of his show, to be straightforward, it's actually not my cup of tea. I was never a big Seinfeld fan. I know, sue me. But one thing I read this article I really respected. He said that he would write jokes every day. He actually had a calendar up on his wall, and he would put a red X every day that he had written jokes. Didn't mean they were good jokes. It's just that he spent time doing that. And it's actually something that I then took and used for the writing part of my business. And people ask me how I've written 9 books. That's how I've written 9 books. I just make sure I write every day. It's not always good, but I always do that writing. And in the same way, if you're just doing something, whether again, it's outreach, whether it's touching base with existing clients, I have a goal. I spend half an hour doing prospecting and reaching out to potential clients for speaking, for coaching, whatever it might be. And what's funny is when I'm consistent with doing that, great things happen. And when I'm not, either because I'm too busy with client work and I'm not making the time for my business development activities, or I'm just hey, when you have a 15-month-old, sometimes days and weeks are a little crazier. Right when my son was born, there was like a month I didn't do that any of my prospecting, which was 100% fine. I was totally okay with that because I was committed to focus on something that was way more important. That was my son and my wife. But of course, the next month business suffered because of that. And I wasn't confused as to why. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, if you haven't done this already, is to map out those 2 or 3 activities. If you work for yourself, do it on your own. If you have a manager or a coach or a leader, pull them in. Here's the big thing that I think is really important to understand, though. You can't approach this like, hey, I'm going to do this 2 or 3 hours every day. If you do it 2 or 3 hours, so let's just say doing outbound engagement, that could be phone calls, could be emails, whatever it is. If you're like, I'm going to do that 2 or 3 hours every day, that's fantastic. But I don't think you are. I think very few people are. And that's not a dig on you. It's just, it's hard to find 2 or 3 hours to do anything every day, especially if you have client meetings and other responsibilities. So it's hard to put that in. But if you can say, okay, if I have 2 or 3 hours, I'll do that. But at a minimum, I will do this for 2 or 3 or for 30 minutes every day. Even if it's, hey, I want to get better at engaging on LinkedIn. So I'm going to find a way to be on LinkedIn 15 minutes every day. And I'm going to post something, or in those 15 minutes, I'm going to engage with other people's content, whatever it might be. That is really powerful. And again, I encourage you maybe to take a page from the book of Seinfeld and get that calendar out and put it somewhere you can see. And check off when you've done that to develop that habit. Because really, the people, when we think about selling and marketing ourselves, because sales and marketing are so closely aligned these days, that you have to give yourself the opportunity to get this on-ramp going. And the power isn't in doing it once. It isn't in doing it twice. It's about having that calendar. There check marks on it every single day for a month, for 2 months. And that momentum is super powerful. And I've rarely seen, unfortunately, people give themselves the opportunity to develop that momentum. Because when you do, it's fantastic. It's kind of like going to the gym. It might be hard that first couple times, but then you get to the point where just going to the gym is what you do. And it doesn't take as much effort or energy, and you get great results. You feel better, you look better. It's the exact same thing in your business. So don't overcomplicate things. Find those 2 or 3 things that you can do every day to do business development. Again, that could be direct sales activities, could be kind of some quote unquote marketing activities. Because if you think about it, for example, posting content on LinkedIn, if you're like, I'm going to post once a day, that's not necessarily a sales activity, but you're positioning yourself. You're showing that you are a credible expert, That's such an important part of being a sales Sherpa. So try that out. Tell me how it works. Feel free to shoot me a message on LinkedIn at any time. I'd love to hear from you. And again, we're going to be coming back at you tomorrow and the rest of the month, every day at noon Central, with some other ideas on how you can be a more effective sales Sherpa for your clients by using very specific tools and tactics to drive your business. So thanks so much for spending time with me today. Have a great day if you're joining us live. If you're listening to or watching one of the recordings, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.